Welcome to the 13th video in the Colored Pencil course, brought to you by thevirtualinstructor.com, Portrait Drawing Part 1. In this module, we'll begin our look at portrait drawing with colored pencils. In this module and each that follows, we'll take a look at a specific feature of the face. We'll complete smaller portions of the portrait in each module until the portrait is complete. We will begin with the eyes. It is not necessary to start with the eyes when creating a portrait. However, the eyes often become the focal point of the image. In addition, the eyes are often a strong contributor to the likeness captured in the drawing. For these reasons, we'll begin with the eyes and work outward. It is also important to point out that a portrait can be approached wholly, as opposed to completing pieces, as is done in this demonstration. Because these modules will approach the portrait in pieces, adjustments will be made to skin tones after the features are in place. Comparisons of hue and value will be required, and alterations will likely become necessary. First, the image is drawn on Bristol paper, using a light application of medium-grade graphite, using the grid technique, as was discussed in Module 8. We'll start by developing the dark areas of the pupil. Here I'm beginning with the color dark brown. Care is taken not to put any colored pencil material in the areas of highlight which have been determined. We want the areas of highlight in the eye to be very crisp and strong. Instead of trying to go over it with white at a later stage, it's best to preserve these areas early on in the drawing. A careful medium application is applied first. As the drawing develops, we'll progressively get more aggressive and apply more pressure to the pencil. A few areas of shadow are determined as well with the dark brown. Next, dark umber is applied to begin to make some of the areas a bit darker in value. A few indications of eyelashes are added here too. Burnt ochre is applied next to begin to establish some of the hues that are visible in the eye. This color is also carried to portions around the outside part of the eye, as it will be a part of the skin tone. The highlight portions within the eye are now solidified using a heavy application of white. Dark umber is used here to define the contour just a bit further and add a few areas of shadow in the tear duct. Next, indigo blue is applied over the areas that are darkest in the eye. This includes the pupil and areas on the upper and lower part of the eyelid. Next, dark umber is applied on top to create a natural black. Complexity of color exists in most iris portions of eyes. For this reason, we're going to use a series of colors to build up the complexity, starting with terracotta. This is followed by a heavy application of light umber. Subtle areas of highlight are addressed with cream. The whites of the eyes are seldom white. In this case, we'll add a bit of cloud blue to this area to make it appear more natural. We'll also add a layer of shadow just underneath the top eyelid using 70% cool gray. These areas are then burnished using a white. Next, we can address the tear duct. We'll begin with peach. An area is preserved in the right corner for a highlight. Dark umber is used to create shadows in this area. Dark umber is also used to define the highlighted areas a bit further and create a few more complexities in the iris portion of the eye. Burnt ochre is applied on top of the dark umber to add some warmth to this area. Cream is used on top to burnish and to create the highlight in the corner. Cream is also used to establish initial areas of highlight around the eye. A cooler tone exists right above the eyelash. 70% cool gray is used to accomplish this area. Dark umber is used on top to begin to create the lines for the eyelashes. Burnt ochre is used just underneath the eye to add warmth to this area. A touch of the color sand is used here as well. Dark umber is used to further define the line above the eye. White is used to sharpen up a few of the edges. It's also used to soften the edges of the iris. A bit more 70% cool gray is added. Portions around the eye are now burnished using beige. We'll continue this application of beige outward from the eye, adjusting the highlights and shadows as we go. Areas of violet are observed in the photo reference. For this reason, Parma violet is used to address these areas. These are toned down with an application of dark umber. Adjustments to the shadow and the shape of the eyelashes is next made using dark umber. Blacks are intensified with another application of indigo blue. A medium application of beige is carried up to the upper portion of the eyebrow. Cream is used to establish initial areas of highlight. White is also layered. Burnt ochre is added in areas around the eye that recede. These areas will be developed and pushed further later in the drawing. These areas are then subsequently burnished using another application of beige. A bit of peach is added here as well. The beige color is brought underneath the eye as well. We can now begin work on the eyebrow. We'll begin with dark umber, a very sharpened dark umber, to create lines. These lines should indicate the way the hair grows, so close observation should be made in the photo reference. The overall shape is important, as well as the directional lines that are added. Indigo blue is used to create darker areas, which are then subsequently layered on top with dark umber. Shadows around the eye are also enhanced using the dark umber. These areas are then burnished again using beige. Terracotta is applied to begin to establish some of the red areas in the skin tone. These areas are then burnished using the beige. Work now begins on the second eye, beginning with a medium to light application of dark umber. Here again, we'll begin with a medium to light application, progressively getting stronger and more aggressive with our applications. Special care is again taken to preserve the highlight areas. Shadowed areas around the eye are lightly established here as well. Next, we'll follow the same course of layering colors, starting with burnt ochre. Indigo blue is used to darken up the areas of the pupil and areas around the eye, like the eyelash. Dark umber is then added to establish the darker details that exist in the iris. Terracotta is added next. Highlight areas are solidified using white. This color is also taken to the white portions of the eye. Cloud blue is used here as well. Shadowed areas within the eye are created using 70% cool gray and then burnished using the white. A heavy application of peach is used in the tear duct. Shadow is pushed further using dark umber. Dark umber is also used to establish the line above the eye a bit further before being burnished with beige. Burnt ochre is added to add warmth. To establish initial areas of highlight on the brow, cream is applied using a light application. The shape of the eyelashes is established using dark umber. The area just underneath the eye is next burnished using beige. Beige is carried up above the upper brow. Shadows underneath the eye are pushed further using dark umber. These areas are then burnished using beige. This process repeats until the areas of shadow are acceptable. Lines can be made darker with additional applications of dark umber. A bit of violet is added on this eye as well, especially in the shadowed areas just underneath the eye. The eyebrows are next addressed. Here again, the two most important things that we're looking for are the overall shape of the eyebrows and the lines that are used to create the illusion of hair. Dark umber is initially put down. Here again, indigo blue is used to darken up portions of the eyebrow. Dark umber is layered on top. Adjustments are made to the first eyebrow. Now that a bit of color and value information has been added to both eyes, adjustments can be made to the shadow. These adjustments are initially made with dark umber. Here again, these areas are then subsequently burnished using beige. The bottom eyelashes are then addressed using a sharpened dark umber. Burnt ochre is again applied to add a bit more warmth. These initial areas of skin tones will be adjusted as other features to the face are added. Lastly, a bit of ginger root is used to begin to establish some of the tones of the nose. So what did we discuss in this module? We began our look at portrait drawing with colored pencils by starting with the eyes. Multiple applications of observed colors in the eyes were made using a variety of pencil pressure. We layered colors to create initial skin tones, which will later be adjusted after the other features of the face are in place. In the next video in this series, we'll take a look at drawing the nose.